Mate, I couldn't quite comprehend that they were living together. When we wanted to hang out, though, he was always like, I just got to check in with her. Or, no, I'm having dinner with my girlfriend tonight. You fucking live with her.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That is the
What
worst.
the fuck do you
That
mean?
excuse. And
Actually explain that to me, mate.
That excuse would have to be the worst excuse ever. If you're trying to get out of hanging with mates, come up with something different. Because if you say to me, I'm having dinner with the girlfriend tonight at home, not going out to a restaurant, at home, I will immediately feel disrespected. You live with that person.
Yeah,
you're with them all the time. If they can't understand, hey, for example, I'd always said this and it pissed me off, and now I'm hated because you mentioned.
Sorry.
No,
we need this on the pod. I
forgot about it.
We need this.
But if I was with my girlfriend and she lived with me, and obviously we have dinner together every night, and maybe I haven't seen you in, like, let's say 3 weeks. If I was organised to have dinner with my girlfriend that night and you said, mate, look, I'm down. I know we haven't seen each other for a bit, but I'd love to catch up with you for tonight. Is that okay? I'm not going to go, oh, let me check with the missus. I'm going to go, hey, just letting you know, Lee's down. Is it all right if we just do this tomorrow?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I hardly see him. Is it okay if we just reschedule this tomorrow? Who the fuck is going to sit there and get upset and be like, but we had chicken and couscous. Like, it's all set tonight.
Yeah.
Like, if you're having that kind of problem in your relationship, you need, like, I don't know, maybe talk or maybe figure it out, or maybe the person's just, it actually makes
You're spot on, though.
no sense to me. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Morokaii with 2 eyes. We are back run every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 7 a.m. on Spotify and 4:30 p.m. on YouTube. Do you know what I think could be a marriage saver for a lot of people?
Marriage saver?
2 separate beds.
Oh, like back in the day, like early 19 whatevers. No, do you know what? You seriously know what I'm talking about, though, when I say that, yeah?
No. What, did they have separate beds?
Yeah,
in
like in the
whatevers?
actual like bedroom, it was like a bed for like the male and a bed for the female.
Did they really?
I swear on my life. It's like 1930s or the 1940s. Dude, there's an episode of WandaVision where like they like have, I think it's from like the 1930s or 40s.
I think that
they had like separate beds that they slept in.
I think some of the problems in marriages is people spend too much time together, and I'm not kidding. I know that sounds, some people they'll be like, no, that sounds ridiculous. But if you're especially with social media now, let's say you're voice messaging all day, you catch up all day, and then what do you talk about?
Yes,
you go home. There's nothing to talk about.
Yep.
How was your day? You
were there.
You were there. Hour by hour. You know exactly what's happened.
Step by step.
And then when you go into bed, I feel like there needs to be some separation, especially if you're having trouble sleeping. 2 separate beds is the key. I would even go as far as 2 separate rooms. Imagine how much more fun it is. Like, I'm going to sneak into your room tonight. Like, it would be 10 times better. And then they go into yours, like, shut up, I'm playing PlayStation. Yeah. Like, get out. Get out.
What are you doing? You meet me online. Yeah. You meet me online.
Yeah, I think people just spend too much time together, and you don't have a real reason to bond or connect because you're always in each other's face.
So, well, that's the one thing that always fascinated me, and it's a perfect example of a very close friend of ours. Mate, I couldn't quite comprehend that they were living together. When we wanted to hang out, though, he was always like, I just got to check in with her. Or, no, I'm having dinner with my girlfriend tonight. You fucking live with her.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That is the
What
worst.
the fuck do you
That
mean?
excuse.
Actually explain that to me, mate.
That excuse would have to be the worst excuse ever. If you're trying to get out of hanging with mates, come up with something different. Because if you say to me, I'm having dinner with the girlfriend tonight at home, not going out to a restaurant, at home, I will immediately feel disrespected. You live with that person.
Yeah,
you're with them all the time. If they can't understand, hey, for example, I'd always said this and it pissed me off, and now I'm hated because you mentioned.
Sorry.
No,
we need this on the pod.
I forgot about it.
We need this.
But if I was with my girlfriend and she lived with me, and obviously we have dinner together every night, and maybe I haven't seen you in, like, let's say 3 weeks. If I was organised to have dinner with my girlfriend that night and you said, mate, look, I'm down. I know we haven't seen each other for a bit, but I'd love to catch up with you for tonight. Is that okay? I'm not going to go, oh, let me check with the missus. I'm going to go, hey, just letting you know, Lee's down. Is it all right if we just do this tomorrow?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I hardly see him. Is it okay if we just reschedule this tomorrow? Who the fuck is going to sit there and get upset and be like, but we had chicken and couscous. Like, it's all set tonight.
Yeah.
Like, if you're having that kind of problem in your relationship, you need, like, I don't know, maybe talk or maybe figure it out, or maybe the person's just, it actually makes
You're spot on, though.
no
Like,
sense to me.
There's no being around
It's
the
not an
bush.
event. If maybe it was your anniversary, or maybe you've had a dinner reservation booked for the last 2 weeks.
I feel like that's completely different.
Fucking
though.
completely different. But if you're
If
just
it's just normal dinner at home, or better yet, just cook the food and I'm taking that to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, thank you. You just like now, like, I know that I'm eating good tomorrow at work. Like, this is grouse
it
and all that. Or you might eat light when you're out with me because you know, like, yeah, cool. I've actually got like this at home.
Yeah, and just do something cool when you're out.
Like,
just bring back the girlfriend or boyfriend, something that you had at
Yeah,
dinner. Maybe
like,
bring them back a
it's
burger or
pretty
chips.
simple.
It's very simple, and it
Like-
pisses me off how you'll hear people fighting about some of these situations, and you'll go, "What? What are you talking
Or
about?"
like they make it feel like it's such an effort as well.
They do.
It's like, oh, now I'm gonna have to ask like my missus or my partner if it's all good. It's like you can still live your own. Like, you are an individual. Like, yeah, like you just do things together, but like you can still do things. Like, if you're with someone that is seriously that controlling, and by the way, they weren't. He was making it as if like that was it. But then when we were like, oh, so what, you're not allowed to hang out because she's like, oh no, she's not like that. Well, what is she? Because either she is or she isn't. Because if she isn't, then you're a bitch because you just don't want to see us.
Yeah.
Or she's not letting you see us. So which one is it?
Yeah, I would
Like-
never. I would if I'm going to use an excuse that I can't catch up with someone, I'm not going to use the girlfriend. That's such a
Well, it puts them in a shit light as well. That makes them look bad.
Oh my god! I'm sitting there, and then they're going, "Fucking hell, I can't believe Luke's girlfriend doesn't let him leave that."
That's what
house.
I mean, man. It's like that's not the case at all. Like,
What are you talking about? And then that will, without a doubt, unfold at a party
big
or
time.
gathering, or when you do actually go on a double date or something. Oh, it's glad you can finally let Luke out.
exactly.
What are you talking about? Well, you didn't let him out the last 2 weeks when I asked him to come out with the boys. What do you mean? I wasn't even home. Like, I was in bed watching Love Island. What are you talking about?
Oh, he definitely wasn't with me.
Yeah, it's
just, yeah, you're so spot on, man. And then there's nothing worse than the classic, oh, nah, guys, I can't do dinner or whatever with you. But then
save money.
But then, no. But then have the audacity to that weekend or seriously the day after, sometimes even the night of, be out for dinner with their partner at it, and it's like, mate.
I just think
Again, that's A-okay if it was pre-booked. You already have. I get that. I completely understand. Sometimes, like, oh, you know what? I actually wouldn't mind going out for dinner with the missus tonight. Like, that'd be fun. Like, let's organise that. I get that. That's cool. That happens.
Yep.
But you can't blow your mates off to then pull that shit. Like, I'm sorry, like, it doesn't work
for some people,
like
it
that.
just becomes a regular occurrence, and then you're like, then you get to a point where you're like, are we even mates?
Yeah,
like,
or even like they're not having dinner with you; they're having dinner with other mates.
Yeah.
It's like, wait. So you couldn't have dinner with me.
Yep.
You could have dinner with like what? Have I done something?
Yeah, I'd rather.
And if
you
I
be
have,
honest.
can you come up and like let me know? Like, did I push your buttons wrong? Like, what's going on? Like, is there a reason why you don't want to hang out? Like,
I would way rather someone just be straight up and be like, look, I'm just not feeling it tonight, man. And maybe, hey, can we try again next week?
I
or
would
something?
much rather that, dude. Because I can understand that
Some friends
sometimes you finish work and you're like, I just can't be fucked.
Oh, 100%.
I just can't be fucked. Man, we've done it before with the podcast with Jim together. There's seriously been days where it's like, man, like I know like you're really keen on do gym or but mate, like I feel so like my energy here, no matter how much you're going to try and pick, like I just know I'm just going to be like, no, like, I'm going to give you fucking nothing.
Yeah, there's
nothing you've done. Like I'm not feeling it today.
There's sometimes when you'll get home and exactly like you'll hit a wall so hard. And you'll just go, oh my fucking God, I just don't, it's nothing to do with this person. I just don't want to go out. And for some mates in the past, I'm like, Tell me that.
Yeah.
Tell me that, because some things just build up so much with so many excuses and so many things that don't make sense that it gets to a point where there's little arguments like, well, fuck it, we don't have to be mates because there's no point. Like we actually haven't been mates for a couple of years, but just
now it's pretty much the nail in the coffin.
Yeah. It's
really,
like we're occasionally mates every maybe Easter or something.
When they feel
when it suits you perfectly. But other than that, it's just like, well, I'm not going to fucking bother. But yeah, the excuse, never ever blame your girlfriend or boyfriend. That never works. Just be straight up honest. I will say though, it can be hard trying to maybe, I guess, not do plans with someone who is a bad influence.
Yeah.
You like them and you get along with them really well.
You know, though,
and you don't really have an excuse. Because the main point is, if I start hanging out with you, maybe there'll be bad tendencies there. And not only that, this will open up the gateway for let's catch up again.
Yeah.
And sometimes, especially at this age, you get to a point where it's like, how do I say respectfully, I don't want to. Yeah.
Well, especially now we're at the age, granted you're in your place as well, and look, we both used to like to party or whatever. Like we still have those mates as such, but it's just easy to be like, fuck, I know that like if we catch up, it's a small window, it's a small chance that I might be like, yeah, actually I'm gonna get fucking rowdy tonight. There's more, but it's almost just easier to remove yourself completely.
Yeah.
And it's actually like, you know what, like I enjoyed that then, but that's not going to get me ahead or where I want to be now.
Yeah,
So, like, put that behind me, move on, call it a day. I'm glad that I did that. That's given me a lot of life experience, life values, like stories to tell. But that's not me or who I am anymore. Like, thanks, but no thanks.
So I've got a friend, and it's nothing against her, but after a while, we're hanging out. And I'll just be straight up honest. I was bored shitless. We connected on nothing. Every time I caught up, I felt like it was a chore. It was nothing against this person. So lovely. The best type of it. Like, she is absolutely lovely. I couldn't say too many bad things about it. She's just nice.
Yeah.
But, mate, catching up was a fucking slog. Like, it really was. And then it got to a point where I think I just stopped replying. Like, I literally stopped replying.
Sometimes you do that, though. You just sort of self-distance yourself.
Yeah, but
and it's not, I guess not being an asshole. Like, it was
I did a slow wean off, right? I did a slowly, like, couple of things I wouldn't reply to. And it wasn't anything crazy. It's not like she was like, oh my God, I need to hang out with Luke, everyone. Don't get me wrong. It's not like that. But I'm just saying, like, it was one of those friends, like, every 3 months. And it got to a point, I'm like, no, like, I love my day off and I love my alone time. And if I spend time with you, that's like 3, 4, 5 hours out of my day I haven't enjoyed.
Yeah.
And
it sounds harsh, but at the same time, you've got to be open and honest.
It does sound harsh, but what do you reckon what would you rather? Let's say we were in that situation. Let's say that I got to a point where I'm like, fuck, I'm just like, Lee just pisses me off. Like, I just want to do my own thing. I actually want him out of my life. Would you rather someone slowly wean you off, or would you rather someone just be brutal and be like, mate, I don't like you as a person? Because I think that I don't like you as a person is just too brutal.
Yeah, I think that's too full on.
I literally think it's too full on.
Slowly start, like, stepping back to the point where it's like, fuck, I don't feel like I've chatted to Luke in like a year. Like, the fuck? Like,
exactly.
Sort of thing. And then by then as well, like, usually I feel like by the time that you've sort of realised, like, fuck, actually, you're almost like, fuck it. Like, I don't really, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, sort of thing. Like, but people move on. Like, I feel like that's just life.
It is.
Like, you're going to meet people in your life that are there for that certain period. They're going to show you some things, again, give you those life experiences, stories to tell. But not everyone's meant to be with you forever and a day. Like, you're not meant to, I don't know. Like,
no, I agree.
People grow apart, but, like, there's always... High school's a perfect example. The people that we were mates with in high school, I still love all of them dearly. I hope all of them are doing well. Like, I hope they're succeeding and all that. Yeah, I don't see them as much anymore. Like, I might see the occasional Instagram post or Facebook, whatever. But it's not like, oh, shit, I'm going to go out of my way now to, like, rekindle that friendship that we had. it's not going to be. It's not going to be the same. Like,
yeah, it's a bit odd, and you'd wish nothing but the best for them. And if you got a message, you'd be like, yeah,
if
cool.
they reached out and something like that, then like, yeah, it's like, okay. But I wouldn't try the whole like, man, like we got to catch up again, like, because it's like, no, like,
yeah. When you get older too, you find your closer circle, and you just, I don't know, you get comfortable. You don't feel like you need to make any friends. It's like in high school, you feel like you want as many friends as possible. You don't want to be lonely. I don't know, as you get older, you're just kind of pretty complacent with where you want to be, but. Environmental friends are huge. I clubbing in that environment. I had great friends, but I wouldn't want to hang out with them outside of clubbing.
Yeah, and the ones that you did would be fucking
sport.
Yeah,
the sports I do. There's some people I'm like, I look forward to seeing them. I'm like, fuck, I can't wait to like train with them.
But it's almost I don't want them at my house sport, though.
Yeah, I just feel like it'd be awkward.
That sport environment is grouse. Whether it's like footy, but it's like, man, I love seeing it. But as soon as we're done there, it's like. Yeah, like I'm pretty content with just talking to you on the PlayStation.
Yeah, definitely.
Like we don't need to have beers, or I don't need to have a dinner with you. Or maybe if it is, it's like a dinner, but like it's a dinner with like that group. Yeah. Like that sport group that,
You still value them. And you still
most definitely.
Great,
you're still there for them, but
and the same with me. I wouldn't want someone to tell me straight up. But if someone didn't like spending time, if someone asked me to go to the gym or asked me to, I don't know, maybe go for a drive or something, but they didn't really like hanging out with me, I would 10 times rather than wean me off and slowly stop. I don't want them to be like, man, I just don't like you as a person. I don't want to hang out. Just leave me off because this is a waste of my time.
Have you ever had as well, like and it sounds horrible. But at the same time, it's so true. The mates where, like, you feel when you're catching up with that specific person that it's genuinely like...
Ticking a box?
Yeah, ticking a box. Or it's like, I know for a fact you couldn't hang out with, let's say, Jason, who's actually, like, sort of like me and you. Like, it's like, that's their best mate. So I was like, fuck, they weren't free. So, fuck, I'll hit up Lee. Like, and, like, you can just tell, like, the vibe and everything. Like, when it's like...
You're a second hand,
I can tell you don't really... Like, you're sort of just doing it to not be alone.
Yeah.
And all that. Like, you're sort of just there to be like, yep, cool, all right. Yep, that's an hour that I haven't had to be by myself. And now everyone's going to be on PlayStation. So, mate, it's been great catching up. We've got to do it again sometime soon. Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, I got one mate at the moment that's more of a tick the box when I catch up. And I hate it because, like, the bloke's such a good guy and he goes through a lot. But sometimes I just sit back and I'm like, I just can't be arsed.
Sometimes it's too mentally draining as well. Like, it actually takes a toll on you.
It does.
And sometimes you walk away from that hanging out and you yourself all of a sudden, like, feel how they... Like, you might... Like, yeah, like, you would just come back and you'll be like, fuck, I'm in a kind of a mood. Like, I feel like an arsehole now. And it's like, that's not me. But I've noticed every time I'm catching up with this person, like, I'm walking away feeling like I'm upset, I'm angry, like, whatever. And it's like, this isn't me. Like, this isn't how I should be feeling.
Yeah, your environment.
Like if I'm hanging out with a group of mates at that end of like the catch up or whether you stay the night, you should be walking away being like, "Fuck, that was a great night." Like, oh fuck, I really enjoyed that dinner or that catch up. Like every time I leave here, man, I'm never ever like, I'm always like, really enjoyed the podcast that we did tonight. Or like in my head, it's like I cannot wait to watch that back when I'm going through it and just being like, "Fuck, that was a pisser moment."
Yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah, and some people change too over time, which can be weird. Which can be very weird. You can have some friends that you're like very close with, and then over time they're like a different person. You're like, what the fuck is?
Or the worst ones as well, which happened again was more a high school, primary school thing. You'd be hanging out in a group, and like it might be like me and you. Like me and you, we get along like house on fire. But as soon as like that third comes in, all of a sudden it's like, why are you being a dickhead to me? Or like, bro, like what the? Like it's just off. It's almost like, oh sweet, now like I want to like be better mates with them, and then you're just there being like, what the like what is going on?
Yeah, what the fuck happened here?
I always hated that. Always usually as a male as well would happen if girls then obviously got involved because you're trying to be the macho man or the alpha.
High school, like, yeah, I do remember that.
But it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why? It's a whole different persona.
Changing your personality to impress someone else.
No, whereas at the end of the day, it's seriously like just I liked you because you were you.
Yeah.
I don't like whatever you're doing now, I don't, and I've been guilty of doing it and all that. And it's just like, fuck, like the reason why like people got along with me is because I was me.
Yeah. Yeah, and you don't want someone to get along with you for the fake you, because when that runs out, which eventually it will,
most definitely
can't be that fake person for forever. Then what are you going to do?
Yeah, well then you're up shit creek. Fucking struggle town.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Morokaii with 2 eyes. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Boom.
Boom.